Apparently, I have 64 problems, and Nintendo 8-1 today on.
That's a good line.
Can you list them all for me?
Number one is
Star
lower
Fox.
back pain.
Star Fox is one.
Don't list over the intro.
Sorry.
Thank you.
No, we didn't want to do lists. Remember? You guys vetoed my list.
I mean, it's kind of a list. We're talking about things. You know what? Whatever. Guys, welcome. I didn't get pointed at, so I'm assuming we're live.
Oh,
Guys,
shit.
welcome back. It's been a week. It's been a week. As we constantly
Still
say,
going.
we're going to make a t-shirt that says press B to cancel. It's been a week. And we'll have, I don't know, Idris Elba come and sell them. Weren't we just trying to get celebrities out here like GP? Just bring all the celebrities out here. Isaac
I heard
Asimov?
I heard we're having Idris Elba on
Oscar Isaac.
next week or something.
Oscar Isaac. That's what I was looking for. Isaac Oscar.
Apocalypse himself.
Isaac Asimov, huh?
Isaac
Isaac
Asimov.
Mr.
Yeah,
we
iRobot
dig him
himself.
up.
we are digging deep for these bodies, for these celebrities. Oh, wow. Guys, welcome in. It's another episode of Press B to Cancel. Today, I am your host, Chard Monk, and I am here with 3 out of the 4 wonderful human beings that usually join us. Sinistar, how are you doing this week?
I'm all right. It's been a week.
Yeah, no, sir. No kidding. And Werewolf, how are you doing, brother?
It has also been a week here. We lost a pet. We lost a pet this week. So yeah, it's been a week.
No fun. No fun. Speaking of the cream always rising to the top, Jake, how are you doing this week?
It's been a week, but much like Moana's numbers at the box office, it's been a bust, but that's okay because it's Friday.
Wow. I have the same wig guy that Maui has, so that's cool.
All right.
You're welcome.
Cup of coffee in the morning. Guys, we're going to talk about a gaming system that I don't know if we talk about very often, but we'll probably talk about the same 5 games that we constantly talk about. We were all just scraping the bottom of the barrel because we all work 50-hour jobs, and some of us have children, and they don't have children, that they do have pets, and they're like children. So we just was like, you know what? We're going to bestow some love on a little known system known as the Nintendo 64, or N64, as the kids called it back in the early 90s, mid 90s. This system was a polygon nightmare. At the time, it was something cool. We were pretty jazzed about it. You get to see Mario in 3D. You get to do backflips. You're stretching his face, and you're wahooing all over the place. And then you're finding out that you're listening to the inner turmoil, the inner thoughts, and you're dropping penguins off of stages, and you're just letting the intrusive thoughts win. And that's where we found out who we really were as people as we grew up. Gentlemen, what kind of round robin memories do you have of the N64? I'll start with Jake's got something. He's geared up. He's got one in the chamber. Jake, what do you got?
Yeah, I wish, Chard. I wish I had one in the chamber right now.
Wow.
Nintendo 64.
Wow.
So we're doing this episode because it's the 30th birthday of the N64, at least the Japanese birthday anyway. I think. Or no, what's it? Is it also 96
No,
for
it's
us?
the American.
No,
It's the American. Yeah, because I thought it was in
no,
June.
the American one is September.
Yeah, I
but
thought we were in June.
The Japanese one is June.
Yeah, but we're doing this
So
because it's the
we're
30th anniversary of
a
the
little
N64
late,
from
but still.
Japan. But yeah,
Moby
I know,
Games
couple months
rules.
apart.
Moby Games rules.
Moby
little
Games
late, a
rules
little
wins
early.
again.
It appeared in existence around this time. So happy
Yeah, that's
birthday, Nintendo 64. Yeah, that works.
It just means we're gonna do N64 episodes until fucking September. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna
are we?
roll that train.
All
That's
N64
news to
all the
me.
time.
The one thing I'm gonna say about my memories of the N64 is rose tinted glasses. I had one. I loved it. Although I do feel as a kid at the time, me and the few friends that had it, we all had the same 3 games, right? Like it was not a huge library, and I think the pool of games that people really liked, I think, was universal among the same group of fans. It's kind of odd that way. But I do like the N64. I still like it over the PlayStation, but I can tell you, having gone back to play some of them this past week, especially when I'm playing on the Mister, which is more hardware accurate than some emulators, or at least it doesn't give you the aliasing and higher resolutions and those fluff things to make the games look better. It's more true to what it was back then, and my God, it was an ugly system. It was really ugly. But modern emulators really
Yeah.
pretty it up for sure, and that's not a bad thing.
for sure.
I don't mind it, but I do love it despite the foibles with the system.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing was developed with SGI, right? I mean, this is Silicon Graphics, right? They were selling these, tens of thousands of dollar, Spark or workstations that were designed for this, and they worked with Nintendo to make a consumer priced option. And so, I mean, what we got for its era is pretty impressive.
I gotta say,
funny
yeah.
Is that the Silicon Graphics first pitched the idea to Sega? Sega of America was all on board. Sega of Japan turned them down.
Yep.
So how different would it of gaming history have been if Sega actually went with the SGI's graphics?
It would have had farty bass.
It would have had farty bass. That's the only thing that the N64 is lacking is farty bass. That's for damn sure. Wolf, what about you? What do you have?
I feel like we would be remiss if we didn't mention Smash Brothers.
I mean, we can. Sinistar's got it in his background there. Bingo.
Yeah, and I know Super Smash Brothers has been iterated on and improved upon and all that, but it started on the N64, and that's
right.
One of the biggest games a lot of my friends and I had.
There are at least a couple, if not franchises, a couple, at least portions of franchises that really did start on the system. So I mean, 100% Super Smash Brothers. The 3D platforming really started here.
Yeah.
The Paper Mario series started here. I mean,
I played it.
Turok, the Dinosaur Hunter, the legendary franchise started on the N64.
I've played one Paper Mario, and it was Super Paper Mario for the Wii, so it's not even an RPG.
I loved the Super Paper Mario on the Wii. I love that one.
That's not entirely true. I played through a good chunk of Paper Mario Color Splash for the Wii U, and it was trash.
Okay.
Trash. I like Thousand Year Door. That's a good one.
But also to be fair, the Mario and Luigi RPG on the handhelds really mimicks or at least Paper Mario, right? I mean,
that's it.
Yeah,
I played through a bunch of those.
It's really close. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we had a lot of first person shooters that were finally kind of coming over. I mean, we had Doom 64 finally going up. We had Quake that showed up on the 64. Like a lot of the stuff that we played on the PCs was starting to kind of trickle into the consoles. Now, of course, they were trash. You try playing fucking Hexen 64 with this turd. But I mean, it is what it is.
You wash your mouth out with soap. The Hexen was good. My first exposure to Hexen was the N64. My first attempt or chance to play Command and Conquer was on the N64. Like I didn't have a great PC. So my first exposure to some of these games was on the N64, and it was pretty good. Hexen was a really well done version.
Quake 64 is surprisingly good comparatively.
Yeah,
it's true. Yeah. It's true. I mean, Trent could do no wrong, but we already know that he's God in this podcast, so that's perfectly fine. But I mean, going back to the platform. I mean, you had Super Mario or Mario 64 doing the cool 3D platforming and doing all the backflips and stuff like that. Banjo-Kazooie made its appearance on here, and that was a
Donkey Kong 64,
fresh new platform. Donkey Kong 64. Like, there's a ton of really cool stuff. GoldenEye, which I'll be very much gushing about later. But also, you got to think about this. This is the system that created the camera as the final boss, right? Like, this is where that phrase came into play, where it's like, you think the Bowser's hard? Try fighting the camera, because that's basically the entire time.
Yeah, I see. I'm kind of an odd man out on this one because while I played a fair amount of N64, the N64 was my brother's. I was not super interested in it as it was. Like, he got it, he wanted one. I was like, cool, you have one. And I played a little bit of GoldenEye. I think I might have beaten it at some point on his console, but it was his game, not mine. The first game I bought for it was Zelda.
Hell yeah.
Which
And-
which
Another one
one?
that I'll gush about.
Ocarina?
Ocarina.
Okay.
Of course. Come on.
No, I
Come
would have
on.
been mad if I had played.
Yeah.
If I
You'd
had
never
bought
play Zelda
Majora's.
again if you played Majora's Mask to
I hate
start.
that
Come
game
on.
so
Now,
much.
You'd be so
I-
spoiled from that.
I think I'm going to be the odd person out here. I like both of those. I genuinely like Majora's Mask. I
Did
do.
you beat both
Is-
of them?
That's fine.
Yes,
Okay.
at least once.
Okay.
Now
Listen,
I split.
when you
I split
finish
the
a
time.
day in Majora's Mask, it's not considered beating it. Okay, that's game over. But
Well,
Just saying.
at the time, I was living with a buddy of mine who is a huge Zelda stan, and so we split the time. We actually would kind of go back and forth. And so I think maybe that also helped, is because I wasn't behind the controls 24/7, right? It was split between me and my buddy. So, but I mean, it was fresh, it was new, it was, the puzzles were actually entertaining in 3D,
Yeah.
so
it's just the constant stress
I-
of the world ending every single time you start a
Yeah.
day kind of
Yeah,
brings that whole
I-
thing to a close.
I played Majora's back on the N64. I had a friend who absolutely adored it, and she swore by it. So after she finished it, she was like, "You got to play it. You got to play it." So she lent it to me, and I think I played for like 2 or 3 hours, and I hated all of it. And I gave it back to her. I was like, "This is not for me. You
Yeah.
can enjoy it all you want. Nothing about this was fun."
It's a weird take, like on what we're used to, especially after Ocarina. It's just
Like,
very bizarre.
I appreciate how it took Ocarina's engine and it took that as building blocks and kind of tried to do something new with it. But yeah, that Groundhog's Day cycle of the game ruined it for me. I didn't care for it at all. I liked other
Yeah.
aspects of it. I liked the transformations. That was really cool. But that original Ocarina of Time, I've been playing that again recently with my wife because that was the one Zelda that she played when she was younger. She hasn't really played many other of the franchise, except for she loves Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild is GOAT for her, right? She loves that.
Right.
But we're playing Ocarina of Time because I was curious if it's still held up, because I know there's rumors of a remake, which got announced. That's coming out later this year. And I wanted to play it originally and see how it holds up. And it still holds up today fine.
Yeah.
Not being able to jump, like there's no jump button. That's still weird. And I
Back
wonder if
jump,
they-
but
You skip.
but
You-
you can
you
sure
have to
throw
walk.
a chicken. You
can
can
throw a
sure throw a
chicken.
chicken.
yeah.
and fly ish.
And
Yeah.
fly. And there's no camera in Zelda, really. Like it's you can
No.
position it behind you if you do the Z targeting for a second. So it's even
Yeah.
less camera
Yeah.
control than Mario 64, which is weird.
Yeah.
But but overall, like the sense of exploration when you first go to Hyrule Field, the dungeons themselves, the atmosphere, like that's a solid, awesome game. Like I really loved Ocarina
Yeah.
of Time.
Oh, I
I
still
love
hear you
cracking
just
Ocarina over. It's
You-
it's fun because like you said, like you get out there and the world is so much bigger. Like
Yeah.
we played Zelda all the way up to, we're in the Super Nintendo era of Zelda, and we're like, this is so big, it's huge, wow. And now you're playing it, and it's in 3D, and Link grows up. Like you could do the time traveling bit
Yes.
now, and you're like, the Link's a badass. Like it's just, it makes the game so much bigger than what it was, and it felt pretty big in the Super
Yeah.
Nintendo era. So now you've made the world much more immersive. It
Yeah.
felt like so. Sorry. You were saying
no,
stuff,
it's
and I talked
fine.
over you. What were you saying?
You mentioned the dungeons, and all of a sudden I had like a memory trigger of hearing the chicka, 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 and looking up,
The
and
skull-
there's
the
this
skullras.
fucking skull.
The
Yeah,
Scortillas, yeah, skulls,
Skulltulas, yeah.
yeah, just
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
where is
Yeah,
that
what a-
ticking sound coming from?
Uh-huh.
Just Z targeting everything.
Yeah.
Dumbledore.
Yeah, super creepy too. Like that was a vibe for the Skotilla house in the one town you go
Yeah.
to, and basically the guy gives you the sob story, and you got to find these tokens to free his family. But the spider in that house and half a human face was pretty creep show
Yeah,
for a
they're-
Nintendo game.
Yes.
Yep. I remember the Dungos or Dungoras. The what are the mountain guys
Dongo.
again? The Dongos.
Oh, the Gorons.
The
Ooh.
Gorons.
Yeah, the Gorons, yeah.
It's like,
Uh-huh.
move.
Yeah.
For God's sakes, move out of the way, please. Shut up and move. The bomb guys.
The one that's in the Goron hometown, and he's basically doing
Yeah.
a lap around the
Yeah.
town, and you have to drop a bomb
Yeah.
flower in front of him to talk to him, and getting the timing right was just drove me nuts when I was doing that last week. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zelda's a strong one. I know we've all touched on Zelda. That would be one of my picks that I'm very much into. Jake, is there one that you wanted to dive into that you wanted to talk about a bit?
So, I mean, we briefly mentioned how there's franchises that got started in the N64, like Smash Brothers and whatnot. But then there's also games that were only on the N64, and we never got a sequel. And I think one of those is Blast Corps from Rare of all studios. And because it's from Rare, I thought we might have gotten a sequel by now, but I guess not. And Blast Corps, I'm not going to call it hidden gem because I think everybody knows about it. And if you had an N64, you probably played it. But I guess for the few people who don't, it's like you have a fleet of construction vehicles, and in every stage you go into, it's kind of like a landscape of buildings and whatnot, and you have to break the buildings before a truck carrying a nuclear bomb collides with them. You're trying to clear it out so this nuke can get through town. And there's everything from a dump truck to the A-Team van to mechs. Like there's a number of different vehicles, and it's all based on each stage, and it's very much a puzzle game. But there was like 100 stages in this game. It's ridiculously long for a game, and like hidden stuff too. Like I remember by the end of the game, there's a Pac-Man hidden level where there's the dump trucks are basically ghosts. That was awesome. You go to the moon, Mars. Like there's a bunch of space themed levels at the end as like an Easter egg thing. But from start to finish, fantastic game, and we never got another one. So and it's just like clever, awesome, unique, nothing quite like it. Nothing, I think, even close has come close to replicating Blast Corps on any other system. So it's always odd to me. You guys must have played Blast Corps.
Blast Corps is one of those games I did play a lot of. I had a friend who was really into that one. So it was a lot of passing the controller back and forth when I went over to his house. I do remember enjoying that mostly. Which is the case with a lot of N64 games. There's a lot of like, this would be really good if it weren't for this. Is generally how all my experiences with N64. There was a lot of tedium and the fact that like, it was really easy to fuck up some missions. Like you make one little mistake and now you're hosed. Like you weren't quite fast enough because you got to do this and this and that and this. And then, you're on your way to do the next thing. And then before you can get to it, the stupid missile runs right into it. This is like the worst version of the movie Speed in the world, right?
It's slowly crawling across the map. And then when it gets close, it starts having the alarm going off and it gets a little terrifying. I will say the only thing I didn't care for was they call it the backlash, I think. It was the dump truck, basically. And the way you destroy things with that is you had to gain speed, which is slow. It's a dump truck.
And drift,
turn.
right?
Yeah, drift. And the controls on that were awful because you had hit the timing was critical. And you're right. Some stages, if you want to get a gold medal on it because you're ranked, you had to really nail that timing of the backslash and swing around and drift properly. And if you screwed up once, you're probably hosed your run and you had to start over. And that was not fun. But every other vehicle I thought was amazing in that game.
So real quick, you said we never got another Blast Corps.
I wanted to mention this too.
Yeah, I went over to Solar Cake's place, I don't know, 3-4 months ago. We did a DJ set, and then afterwards we're hanging out, and he's like, hey, you want to try this game? It's called Instruments of Destruction on the PlayStation 5. And you literally...
It's also on Steam.
Okay, and you have, like, essentially deconstruction vehicles that like destroy in different ways, and so it's
maybe
not
it's like
exactly
a spiritual
the
successor
same.
kind of thing.
It's not exactly the same, but it's kind of similar.
Instruments of Destruction. Shit. Okay.
Yeah, this is cool because you're using all kinds of different things to get your vehicle around, and there's nothing quite like cracking the whip while you're driving a bulldozer. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And you can exit the vehicles and get into another vehicle in the middle of the level, and it is a pretty fun game. And then you make a lot of money by blowing shit up.
Dude, this is Blast Corps. Like I'm looking at the Steam trailer right now.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
It even has a 3-star scoring system.
Yeah,
that's right.
But it has kind of, it expands on it because there's also construction portions as well.
Right.
Instead of just destruction, there's construction as well. So,
well, currently on sale, 50% off.
There you go.
I might pick that up.
There you go. Spiritual successor.
We know what Jake's playing after the podcast tonight.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, there you go. No, this is one that I dabbled in. I didn't play as much as I would have liked, but it's definitely one that I've sat down and I've watched several people play it. I know Jake has talked about it on numerous occasions. This would be fun. This does look like a lot of fun to play, and now we have Instruments of Destruction to poke around with there too. So maybe there was a spiritual successor. Be interesting to see if anybody from the original from Rare made this for the PlayStation 5. I mean, obviously it's not a Rare game, but it'd be interesting to check that out. Cool. All right. Sinistar. Is there a game that you wanted to jazz up a little bit?
Yeah, so I wanted to talk about it at least was my favorite Tetris for a long time. And that is the new Tetris. It's literally called the new Tetris.
Aptly named.
Yeah. And what can you say about a Tetris game other than this introduced some interesting concepts, some that have continued and some that didn't continue. The one that continued, this one introduced the hold piece concept, which I absolutely love in modern Tetrises, especially when you get a line, you throw that hold piece in there, right? You're like, I'm going to save that line for later. And then you don't realize you saved a line and it just swaps for another line. So, but no, this one, it had a concept as well of 4x4 squares, which you had to use the same type of piece. So like the L, you could lay down the L's in a way to make a square. And when you did that, it would either go silver or gold, depending on the pieces that you use. And then those become extra points or extra line count or whatever when you break those. But the real joy of this, because of its hardware, because it had 4 controller ports, it had 4-player battle Tetris. You could send lines at people, right? You break your lines and it goes toward them. So, and I can't tell you how many hours we wasted. We introduced a concept which we continued into Super Puzzle Fighter, which was winner out. And so the people that kept losing had to keep playing against everybody. And the winner would go swap out for somebody else that was in the room. And so I don't know. It's Tetris, but it was fantastic Tetris.
I played some of this because I know you recommended it before, and the only Tetris I had played on the N64 was the Mickey Mouse one, and that one, you play that one, and then they added the non-standard tetranominos into it, right? Like the weird C-shaped one, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here! I can't. So I went and tried the next Tetris, the one you recommended, and the fact that this is where the hold piece originated is really interesting. I'm with you. I think that is game changer, haha. But it really is for the franchise, right? Because like the problem with the Game Boy Tetris, as much as I love it, is you get hosed when you don't get that line piece after X number of turns, right? It's RNG. Tetris lets you mitigate that with a hold piece. But for a system that was mostly 3D focused, Tetris is a 2D game, but the controls are very, very snappy and is done very, very well. I actually thought it was one of the better Tetris games I had played, especially from that generation. And the idea of 4 players, awesome too.
In fact, the controls were snappy enough that and they claim that this was part of the game itself, but you could get a piece down at the bottom, or say you're up near the top and the speed is too fast. You can actually rotate the piece and move it across the board via rotation. And that's kind of continued as well in some of the modern Tetris as well. So yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not familiar with I've not played this one. This is one of the Tetris games that I have not.
No, I've not either.
Into, so I have nothing to add. I have no way to add any interesting concepts or quips except for the whole piece seems like a pretty cool upgrade from the original game. Because that'd be nice, like you said, to kind of back pocket that one. And you're like, oh, there's a line. I need that square. Let's drop that bad boy in there, and it makes things a lot cooler. I love the concept because you and Sinistress have talked about it in the past about this battle Tetris thing that you and your friends came up with, and winner has to keep playing, or loser has to keep playing, or something.
Winner out. That's right.
That sounds like that would make things very entertaining, which would be a perfect segue for another game that I'll talk about here that's on the N64. But first, I want to make sure, Wolf, was there anything that you wanted to add or anything you wanted to talk about?
something we didn't really talk too deeply about, and Sinistar just mentioned it, and I wanted to throw this out there. The N64 was the first console to implement 4 ports, so you didn't need one of these monstrosities to be able to play a multiplayer game.
Yeah.
Right.
And hey, with each controller taking 3 hands, that's 12 hands. You could have 12 hands at the same time.
Because the horrendous multi-tap thing was around very early on. It was on the NES. It got put on Super Nintendo and TurboGrafx. I don't know if Genesis had one. I don't recall. But
I think they did.
Yeah,
and there's also Genesis carts. There's one company that made the I don't think they're official carts, but they did the J carts where you had the 4 ports in the cartridge itself. So it's definitely a concept that's been around. And
that was a concept.
Yeah.
That's funny. So yeah, like it's interesting that that was finally the first console to be like, you know what, we should maybe try to implement 4-player natively instead of making it jumping through hoops and buying extra ports and all that.
Seems like a lot of people want to play this at the same time.
It did. Dreamcast had 4, which like came a few years later.
And Xbox, but I mean, Xbox original had 4 as well.
Did it? Okay.
Yeah. PS2 was that generation's only one to not incorporate more than 2 ports.
If you have PlayStation, you have no friends. I guess that's where they're coming from.
Or you're just playing Crazy Taxi.
Right.
Well, that's right. All right.
Yep.
Well, I had Dreamcast, I had friends, and I was just playing Crazy Taxi. So
he's bringing the whole thing with him.
That's the trifecta right there.
Yeah, it is.
My friends and I would all go home and play Crazy Taxi and then call each other and share our new scores.
Nice. Nice.
Beautiful. Well, speaking of having 4 players and having friends to play in high school, this one was a huge popularity, and I know a lot of people are going to discuss this one, or at least have some sort of memory, whether they hated it or not. But I went to a pretty rural high school where 4-H was a big part of our school. So there was a lot of very large trucks with big wheels, smokestacks, animal farming. And well, whenever we'd grab a pistol in this game, we'd say "Cowboy up," and we'd start chasing each other as we played GoldenEye. "Cowboy up" was a phrase that was constantly screamed in the middle of this game. When someone picks up the 6-shooter to chase you down, "Cowboy up," that's what you get. So every time we knew somebody had the goddamn 6-shooter when someone would scream that, and we'd all die laughing. It was one of the mini sock hour jokes that we had when it's 1 a.m. You're running on Mountain Dew caffeine, and everything is hilarious.
I had a friend that would because you've got the James Bond going behind you the whole time. Yeah. And he would start singing lewd lyrics to it while we were playing.
Like you do.
And it's like, so now whenever I hear James Bond theme music, I'm like, okay,
nope. This is inappropriate. Yeah. All this is inappropriate.
Yeah.
And we played
this isn't family friendly.
No.
Yeah.
What are you doing putting this behind James Bond?
4-player James Bond GoldenEye. We played that till our eyes bled out of our foreheads.
Yeah.
Golden PP7s. Odd Job, Slappers only, the whole only, 9 yards. We played.
Awesome.
We played every last inch of that game until there was nothing left. And I'll be honest with you, I played that more as a multiplayer game than I ever played single player. I never even finished that game.
And
but I gotta say,
great single player campaign.
It does. And the animations from shooting the bad guys and stuff, and it was locationary and all this stuff. You were like, this is new technology. This was way before ragdoll physics. So you're just freaking out. I shot the guy in the knee and he grabbed his knee. You're having a whole cow about this entire thing. GoldenEye has one of my more fun, nostalgic pieces attached to it, and I played the hell out of it. And I know we've talked about it in the past on other episodes. So, gentlemen, you care to elaborate on your experiences with GoldenEye? Jake, I know you've played this game a bit, yeah?
Yeah, I played it. I played like you guys. I played it way until early in the morning at friends' places. This was the multiplayer game for the N64, right? This
was the sleepover game.
Yeah, this was the sleepover game for sure.
Yes.
And I wasn't at the time a big first-person shooter fan. But it didn't matter with this game because everybody was getting kills in GoldenEye because you had a postage stamp size of the screen to focus on. And it was just mayhem. And even if you did die, like the rounds were so quick, there was no downtime. It was just a fun as hell multiplayer game. But for me, it was the proximity mines. I had the most fun because I could like just troll and hide them around corners. And then whenever somebody blew up, you knew it was you. It was just funny, right? And every time somebody dies, it does the music and it does the blood. So it's like what like an iconic multiplayer game. And nothing like it since for Bond.
No.
Like I know they tried doing multiplayer in other versions of Bond, but it was never rare and it was never like exactly like GoldenEye. I know there was a potentially going to be a remake for the Xbox 360, I want to say it was, or Xbox, and it got canned, sadly, which is a shame because it would have been killer on that system. But yeah, I love it. But I'm also like you, Chard. I beat the campaign once. I think I beat it on easy. It's a hard game. It's pretty tough. There's especially the escort mission that was there, and I had issues where if I didn't finish all the objectives, but I hit the wrong door and that was an exit to the mission, I didn't realize it because I wasn't, I guess, paying attention, and I had to redo levels more than I wanted to. So like the single player was great, but had its frustrating moments. But the multiplayer was always fantastic. I love that game for the multiplayer.
Yeah, it's where you learn to hate and love your friends at the same time. Like this was the first. I'm gonna murder my entire group of friends because they're all assholes, especially when they play as Odd Job. I can't hit for shit. You know, we had an all Odd Job war. It was pretty funny. We had a lot of good times with that, and I do very much remember fondly going to my friend's place after school, the four of us hooking up into his N64 and just playing the hell out of that for several hours, and way too many good times out of that.
I mean, who throws a shoe?
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, for real. For real.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there anybody else?
There was a lot of contention about playing as Odd Job in this game.
Yes.
And
a lot of yelling.
And if you played as Jaws and you still won, you were like
the greatest.
You were basically unstoppable. You were the greatest. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're a moving target. That man is huge.
Yeah. So one of the things we'd like to do is like we'd pick, like one of us would pick Jaws and everybody would be like, I'm going to get you. And of course you could duck in the game. So you duck and nobody realizes it's Jaws running by.
Yep.
Nice.
That's great.
But yeah, like this game had a lot of multiplayer modes. It was ridiculous how many there were. And I think the only one I didn't really like was you only live twice. And usually that was because it would boil down to two, like you're playing with four people, two would be out of the game like that. And then the other two would be duking it out for 10 minutes. And it's like, okay, guys, come on. Let's
next.
I have 3 hands and a controller and I'm not doing anything.
My third hand is exhausted from holding this controller.
No,
well, like, playing the turtle is like a big. Sorry, playing a turtle is like a big factor of that multiplayer. I used to hide in the bathroom stage all the damn time, or up in the rafters. So like for sure.
Yeah, no, I mean that's the kind of thing you do with the proximity mine. You put the proximity mine in a place
and wait,
and then you hang out on the other side of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's the only way in and out. Like you put it at the front door of the bathroom in the facility. You go hide, and once you hear the bomb explode, you're like, did it happen?
Yeah.
You poke out of the stall. Did it happen? Unless you were looking at the other guy's screen, and then you're like, I got you. Bye.
That's right. You got the 4-player split screen, so you can see everything that's going on in everybody's channel. That was you had to put up walls, keep people looking at your screen only.
The amount of, don't be looking at other people's screens. Don't be looking at screens.
No, look at my screen.
No, I loved. Speaking of the modes, I absolutely loved Golden Gun mode. Right?
Yeah.
Like, and then speaking of that sleepover fodder, 2:30 in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, all of a sudden you switch over to slappers only. Yeah. And then the parents are coming down the stairs being like, why are you guys being so loud? Because you're all yelling at each other because you're up there slapping each other, Yeah.
Slappers.
Slappers only. Yep.
Good times. All right. Jake, back to you, buddy. Is there another one that you wanted to talk about?
Oh, okay. So Star Fox 64, I think. And I liked that game as a kid, but having played it recently, there's a remake came out and all that stuff. But I realized how awesome that game really is like graphically, right? Even with how much I'm shitting on the graphics of the N64, Star Fox 64 still looks awesome. It holds up, and the controls are flawless for that kind of game. It's an on-rail shooter, but the controls I think are flawless, and the remake kind of captures that essence very, very well. It's very faithful to it. But just playing through that game is great. And I know, like, I dump on like the price of games, especially lately. And I go back to the Nintendo 64, and those games were very expensive. One of the issues with the N64 was it was carts, and I mean that's why it drove a lot of developers and publishers away from Nintendo during that period, because of the cost of cartridges. And the N64 Star Fox wasn't just the game; it also came bundled with the Rumble Pack, which is like we don't realize now, like we've only had haptics and controllers for not that long. But it was the N64 that kind of brought that to us. But it was a freaking add-on you got to buy, and I think it was only in Star Fox originally. I think they did a standalone release of that add-on later on. They must have, but the fact you got as an add-on to Star Fox was pretty remarkable. But I love Star Fox.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, a console that used memory cards. That you plug into the controller, but the controller only had one slot. So you got to pick memory card or haptics.
And
then
you want to feel it or you want to save it.
And then my favorite was the third party option that had both in it, but it had a physical switch. So that you still couldn't use both at the same time.
Yeah. Bingo. I'm sure he's got it.
What most games did when they did support both is they would have a stupid loading screen. It's like, okay, on the screen, okay, don't hit A, swap your cart for your saving cart, and then hit A button. Okay, now swap in your Rumble Pack. And like that whole thing was so clunky. The whole idea of a memory card, which is again very novel for the N64 and PlayStation. That's when we first got them. The idea of how small they were, the interface to manage your save things there, how some games took 2 blocks, other games took 130. Like it was ridiculous having to manage the concept of saving on a console back then.
Right.
Like especially when it's cartridges. There were the concept of batteries in carts. And only a handful of N64 carts did that, like Zelda. Most you had to use that stupid cartridge memory card.
Yeah. And I do have one of those Rumble Packs that's also a memory card. You have to flip the switch.
Yeah.
But it's buried in the closet. I thought it was in a drawer there. But that thing actually eventually started to go bad because the switch would stop making the complete connection.
Yeah.
Really?
So those sucked.
I mean, those switches it's just a metal barb that moves across, right?
Yeah.
It's destined to fail. But I mean, speaking of add-ons, right? Like you've got the memory card, the memory expansion.
Yeah.
Do you know how much is in there?
Pack?
Yeah. What's that?
How much? Do you know how much it increases the memory
megabytes, by? Right?
No,
I thought it was.
It's like from 4 megabytes to 9.
Yeah, it's like 4. It's like another. Yeah, it's like another 4 or 5 megabytes. Yeah.
Good
God. It's the tiniest amount, especially when we think of today. Like how much memory is in your guys' computers today, right? Like,
yeah, combined or on one drive.
Yeah.
So
and not one drive, but one singular drive.
Oh my gosh, it did doubled the system's total memory from 4 to 8 megabytes.
Yep.
Oh my God.
And like it was required for Donkey Kong, right? But I know it was used by a few other games.
It was a
pack-in with DK.
Yeah.
Because isn't this console the first console that had like all these expansion slots and things that you can add on to it like for later usage?
It's got a whole bunch of expansion on the bottom, which was never used in the US.
Not here,
right.
And in fact, on my next game that we talk about, I'm going to talk about something I learned today that I'm sad about.
Yes,
that was today.
That was a 64DD requirement, which was their disk drive.
I know exactly what you're going to talk about.
Yeah. Anyway,
I've known about this for years.
Why wait?
This expansion pack was also, like you were saying, it was optional for some games. I think we had it because of South Park.
Okay,
which was
a great game. I love that game.
It was funny.
Which
one? It wasn't great.
I'm talking
South Park.
the one. I'm talking
the one where the turkeys are attacking.
Yeah.
Is that the one where it's multiplayer where you're throwing yellow snow?
Yes.
That game was so bad.
I love that.
Needed that card.
It didn't need it, but if you had it, it would like it sent the fog way out there instead of like 20 feet from you. It stopped
4
feeling
megs of
like
fog.
Silent Hill and started to feel like
Yeah.
Mario 64.
What maybe would that clear up Turok a little bit? If you slap that bad boy in there or what?
You know why? Because the fog in Turok is by design, Chard. That was for atmosphere.
Oh,
That was part of the gameplay experience. You remove the fog, you remove the spirit of Turok. It's perfect the way it was.
Sure. Not the spirit. The spirit alone.
This is great.
Perfect the way it was is
Yeah.
not how I would describe that game. Sure,
You
it
guys
was
like
by
Turok.
design. It was
I like.
intentional.
Listen, I'm with Jake.
Sure.
I like Turok. I thought Turok was
Turok is
was a
great.
good game. I love Turok.
That's one of the few games that, as a teenager, would actually give me a headache.
Why?
Look out, Silent Hill! Here comes Turok.
Because of all the fog and the bobbing and everything. Like,
Well, you could
for
turn the
some
bobbing
reason,
off.
that one was bad.
I don't know. It was an
I've
it
heard
was
a
a
lot of
jumping
people-
Not a whole lot of
platformer
games that
shooter.
gave me headaches.
Like it wasn't just
Yeah.
wasn't like GoldenEye where it was just constantly, you're sliding around and shooting. Turok had a huge amount of platforming in it, and I could see how that could be a bit weird, especially some of the ones where you're really high up on tiny little pillars and you're hopping from pillar to pillar. I can see it. The game gets a bad rap these days because I think most people who play Turok now are playing it on a modern controller, which is not what you do for Turok. You can't. You need to play it on an original N64 controller, or I have one somewhere, the 8-bit Do 64 controller, which has the proper C buttons. You need that for Turok, and it's not the same game without it.
That's funny. I like Turok. No, I was one of the more fun games that I played on an N64. I know someone might have talked about that, but Sinistar had something that he wanted to add, and we're going on a Turok tirade, which we'll eventually swing back around to. I'm sure.
My ad was for my next game. So
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
okay, cool.
why wait? Tell us what you were using. that for.
Segue.
Okay, so there's this little known game series called F-Zero. And the one that was on the 64, I love the original F-Zero. And honestly, the changes that they made for F-Zero X on the 64 really felt like a natural progression and made it better. It made it harder, a lot harder, but it did make it better. Yeah, have you guys heard of Tunnels? You guys tried Tunnels?
Yeah, this is the one that had the outside of tunnels, right?
Well, and what's funny is I looked it up, and they actually refer to those as tubular maps. They had tubular areas of maps.
Tubular, bro.
Have you guys
The flat
heard?
ones were just groovy.
Yeah, have you guys heard of tubes? Have you guys heard of tubes?
I'm unfamiliar with tubes. Please explain your tube science to me.
No, so one of the things that they introduced, because the original F-Zero was mode 7, and it was really cool mode 7, which was still 2D. I mean, let's admit mode 7 is 2D.
2D with a lot of pixels.
Right. This actually made it a 3D environment and introduced gravity. And that honestly was a game changer, especially when you were on the tubular areas of the map. Because if you jittered too hard, you would actually fall off the map and down into the nether, the city area that's below, and you would die.
The city below to, crash on whatever unfortunate pedestrians and
That happens here in Washington
citizens
when
might
you
be
jitter
down
too
there.
much.
I was gonna say you're the blue ice of racing at that point, right? I mean, so
Jesus Christ. Wow.
You're the Boeing 747 escape hatch door.
That's right. Exactly. Held on by Vaseline and hot glue.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Vaseline and prayers.
No, the concepts were really cool. It expanded from 4 racers to 30 racers. The each machine, and I love that they call them machines instead of like carts or racers or whatever. They call them machines. Each one had its own little physics tweaks that really did make a difference. As we mentioned, the outsides of pipes. There's also the insides of pipes, tunnels, if you would.
Why wouldn't there be?
And then it's really cool because instead of having like a quantity of boosts that you earn every single time around the track, you get the ability to boost after the first lap, and it uses your energy. It uses your life. And that actually was a really cool concept, because instead of being like, oh, I have 1 per lap and I can just use the boost, you can burn yourself until you explode. you know.
Same game, same.
Yeah. So, but let's talk about the thing I learned today, because I was doing a little research today. I'm really sad that we never got the 64 DD or whatever, the double density or whatever, the disk drive. I don't know
Disk
what
drive.
but
Yeah.
yeah. So it was a module that went underneath the N64, and F-Zero X in Japan was one of the few games that used it, and it added an expansion that made it so you had 12 new tracks. But really what was cool is you could create your own machines,
Oh shit.
and you had a track editor.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
cool.
that's the one I was thinking.
Yeah. And holy crap, I may have to, if the Mister has a 64 DD availability, I may have to try out that track editor.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
I'm always big on like the creation of your own machine or cart or car or whatever. I think that's a lot of fun. I think I get lost in a lot of like the Forza games and stuff when I'm just tweaking my car and adding fins and RGB where it doesn't belong. You know me, guys. Every time you put streak glow on a car, it gets you at least 50 more miles. So
Absolutely.
that's how you roll. But that sounds like a pretty cool thing.
Yeah.
I
loved F-Zero X. Yeah.
I never liked F-Zero on the Super Nintendo, really, and I didn't really get into the N64 version. I tried it a handful of times over the years, and I was always terrible at it, and I never quite grasped the controls. And I found out last week why, and it was for two reasons. One, always be boosting. I was hitting the wrong button and running out of life and dying very quickly. And the other one is I didn't know which button was for the brake. Apparently, I figured that out last week. This is what happens when you play retro games on an emulator and you don't look at game manuals, because I was screwing that up.
There you go.
It is a much better game when you use the brake and you use the boost responsibly. It's actually really legit. I'm really impressed with the sense of speed in that game. It's awesome. Like 30 other machines on the track is a lot. I like
without slowdowns.
Without slowdowns, yes, that's the thing. It is like, I don't know what the frame rate, whether it's 30 or 60, but whatever
60,
it is,
60.
it's rock solid. Like, it is legitimately rock solid programming. And like, there's other games that are racing games in the N64, but F-Zero is just, the tracks are very fun. I like that futuristic vibe to it. I like going around in the tunnels doing loops. Even if I lost control and flew out of it, it's still fun. Yeah, really great game. And I also knew about the track editor, which I also dig like you do, Chart. I love the track editor in other games. I would love to try that out on the DD if I could get that to work in an emulator. I don't know if the Mister supports it. I'm gonna have to check now, because there's other DD games as well that we didn't get. And I kind of want to check them out now that you brought it up. So pretty cool.
There were only 8 of them or something, right?
Yeah,
It was not a big list.
It was introduced like right as the system was killed.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Well done. Well done.
Yep.
Well,
I always found it interesting that they'd build in all these little like ports and shit on these old consoles and rarely make use of any of them, if not like 1 or 2.
Yeah, go flip over a GameCube and look at how many stupid ports there are.
the GameCube is full of incredible expansion opportunities that I have no idea what any of it was used for. The thing's got a freaking handle on it, for God's sakes. You can carry it around with you. I mean, talk about ridiculous additions to that. I mean, I remember when we talked about when we were younger and the Nintendo 64 came out, and we were like, this thing's got all these slots and ports and expansions. We're never going to need to buy another console again. This thing's just going to grow and grow on itself. It's incredible technology. Yeah, that didn't happen for either the GameCube or the Nintendo 64. So it's kind of crazy when you're like, this is it. Like, this is where you draw the line. And no, the line continued to draw on a whole nother piece of paper, a whole nother book, as a matter of fact. So it's pretty crazy.
Yep.
Wolf, is there anything that you wanted to bring in another game that you wanted to talk about or feature? Because this is an absolute love of this game system.
I think one that we should mention is Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Yes. I was hoping someone would bring this one up. Absolutely.
Never played it.
I love this game. This game
is one of those games, like, this was like the first game to really push the envelope as far as what a game was expected to be versus what it looked like.
Yep.
And Because I mean, we got Duke Nukem before Conker, but you know you pop in Duke
You knew what
Nukem,
Duke
you
Nukem was.
kind of knew what you were
You knew what
in
Duke
store
Nukem was.
for. But
Yeah.
there were people who would get like, you know, rent Conker, and then they'd get it home and the kids playing it. And the parents are like, whoa, what is all this?
Yes. Yes.
And
Conker.
I remember playing it and I was just dying the whole time because I was what, 15? Prime
Right.
demographic. The game is raunchy as shit. I'm a stupid teenager. It was perfect timing. But
you know, when people tell you, when you're younger and people tell you about Conker's Bad Fur Day and they tell you what it is, you go, that's not a real game. There's no way that they did any of that stuff on a Nintendo. No way. Then you play it and you're like, it is, Santa Claus is real. This stuff does exist. Like it's crazy how goofy and just raunchy that game truly is. And it's a cute squirrel. You look at it, you're like, that squirrel's cute. No, he's twisted as hell.
No.
Yeah.
No, he's
a mess.
Yeah, he's a menace.
Yeah. That shit was insane.
It started just being like, you know, he's hungover and horny, right? Like that's basically it. Hungover, horny, and lost. He doesn't know how to get home. And it starts to drift a little into like major toilet humor, but by the end of it, it's fucking what, like Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
You know, like
heads are exploding.
Anything
like it's a mess
to subvert the expectations of what this game should be are just out the window.
Hilarious.
And it changes it up as you go through the game constantly. And it was wonderful. Like it's stupid, but it's wonderful. This is one of the few games that I was like, okay, that was really fun. That was really good.
This game reminds me of like Cannibal the Musical, like on that sense, where it starts out all wholesome. They're singing songs. They're saying, gee, golly, gosh.
Let's build a snowman.
Yeah, exactly. And then at the end of it, they're killing each other with sticks and cursing. It's just completely degenerates into this awful, terrible tirade. I freaking love it. I love it when I love the sarcasm that's thrown on games like that, where it's got this really cute cookie cutter start and you peel into it and it's full of dog shit. You love it.
Does it hold up today? Like, have you guys played it recently? I've never played it. I guess I played Banjo instead at the time, so I missed Conker.
So I played this on the N64 and I enjoyed it. I beat it. I later, when it was re-released on the Xbox, I bought it again and I still really enjoyed it. The only thing that disappointed me about the re-release was that they changed the multiplayer. The multiplayer became just a shooter game, whereas the N64 one had sort of like mini game kind of things. And those mini games I still adore to this day. Because it was like 2 to 4 player games where, you know, you have 2 people being cavemen and 2 people being dinosaurs. And the cavemen are trying to steal the eggs and put them in a giant frying pan or, you know, stuff like that. Right. There's another one where you're playing as squirrels and teddy bears. And as the teddy bear, you're trying to snipe the squirrels who are trying to sneak across the border to safety. And so you're headshotting them. And like, it was so just dark and
I remember that one.
But funny.
Yes.
And like the multiplayer in that was so good. I think Conker's has kind of held up. I mean, it looks like Banjo, so there's that.
Right.
But
they're both rare
even
games
my
too,
kid,
right? Yeah, they are both rare games.
Yes. Even my kid knew the friggin' the shit song.
The talking.
He busted out with it the other day, and I was like, "What? How do you know that?"
I love Conkers. This game was so dark and twisted for what it appeared to be when you bought it. I love that idea.
Yeah, so this is one of the few games for the N64 that I adored. And I know like what it was is tame by today's standards, but at the time it was a huge thing. Like, it was like blood on home consoles in Mortal Kombat.
Right. Yeah. You're bringing blood back into your house, and it had a really cute face.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
Great call.
do wonder if there was a way to, because it was all like self-censored, I believe. So whenever they'd curse, it would bleep it and stuff like
Right.
that. And I don't think there was a way to turn that off. There were rumors that there was, but I
Right.
don't think it was possible.
Well, there's rumors you can bring Aerith back to life too. So spoilers.
Yeah.
But
I know there's a big right now. There's the whole decomps for PC are really popular right now, especially the N64. People taking N64 games and decompiling them and doing native ports for PC. So like there's one for Star Fox and Mario Kart right now, and they give you things like widescreen. But the big thing is they do have mod support. So I know one of the mods for the N64 Star Fox was it replaces the audio with the uncompressed voices that somebody found in the Giga Leak. So there is modding support for the decoms. I wonder if the Conker's got a decomp and if there'd be a mod for something like that.
That'd be great.
Because the idea of
There's,
uncensoring Conkers could be fun.
Apparently there's an uncensored ROM hack for it.
Well, that would
Oh.
work. Yeah, there you go.
So
Even
I
better.
would imagine the lines were all recorded and just bleeped over.
Can you imagine
Funny.
if someone's
kind
just
of-
like, it's all cute talking like Conker, and then it's a subdue that says "fuck" in like the background
I kind of
over the
hope,
bleep.
I kind of hope that they actually recorded it like there's an episode of C Lab 2021 where it constantly is bleeping this guy that's on this ship. And then at the end, you can actually watch the non-bleeped version, and it's not
It's
any
nothing.
sort of bad talking at all. I kind of, but honestly, the way that they bleep it, it sounds like it's like the worst thing that he's ever been saying.
God damn it. Classic.
Yeah.
Classic stuff. And I'm glad. I love Conkers. Conkers is a great throwback, and it's not a hidden gem in the sense of what it is. People know what Conkers is, but it really is kind of a it's
I
a
think it's
shock.
one of those-
It's a shock fest, and I love it.
Yeah,
I love
it was mostly about the shock value at the time. And I think it's one of those games that people, experienced and then kind of rather quickly forgot because it was all shock and not a ton of substance, right?
Yeah. Yep.
But
Yep.
I do think the game itself was a good platformer, a good representation of what 3D platforming exploration games could be on the N64,
Right.
while also still being this really cringy, vulgar game
Very cringy.
with very little story substance.
But in a
this
good way.
This was the era of South Park, right? I mean, so
Right.
this
It was.
everybody was
I just
jumping
mentioned
on
the South Park game on the
Yeah,
N64,
right,
so
right,
yes.
everybody was trying to run that direction, right?
Yes.
So yeah.
Perfect.
But Conkers
All
did
right.
it. Conkers did it well.
Ours did it, and successful.
did.
Yes, and very well. Yes. All right. Well, guys, we're creeping up on our time here. I don't know if there's anything else that anybody wants to cover of the N64 other than, what it brought to us as a group, like all of us individually. It's expanded
I ju-
upon what gaming is, and the things that go along with that.
I mean, I just want to mention because it's one of those systems that people are like, "Hey, did that have any?" I mean, I remember Ocarina of Time, and I remember Super Mario 64, but like this had a lot of good games on it. I know Wolf has talked Perfect Dark in the past, Banjo Kazooie, the Mario Kart that was on this was legit.
Yes, that's a game I lost a lot of time to.
The Donkey Kong kart on this was legit.
Diddy Kong
Donkey
Racing.
Kong 64.
Yes.
Yeah, Diddy Kong Racing. Donkey Kong 64 was great. Hey, you could have bongos and do the bongo game if you wanted.
Mario Party,
live your best
multiple
life.
Mario Parties
Yeah.
on this system. I was up to 3M playing Mario Party with friends. Like it's a lot of great franchises.
weren't
We
there,
barely
like,
even talked about
4 of
Smash
them
Brothers.
on the
Smash Brothers is
64?
great on this too.
3 or 4.
Yeah.
3 or 4.
4, yeah.
Mario Party's like
launched
the
with-
John Madden of football. Jesus.
Yeah. It launched with Wave Race, which was a decent racing game.
It
I
was.
like Wave Race. I enjoyed that.
I loved
with
dolphins.
the wave physics,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You bump off those
Yeah.
waves,
Yeah.
and now you're trying to turn, and you're like,
Yeah.
"Ah!"
Uh-huh.
Getting flown all over the place.
Uh-huh.
That's good.
Yeah.
There was also Extreme G. I don't know if any of you guys ever played that, but that was interesting concept. It was like somewhere between F-Zero and Wipeout.
Yeah.
Didn't they have Pilot Wing 64 too? Wasn't that another one?
They did. I played that a little bit. It's not as good as the SNES one. But leave it at that. But
we can't forget Superman.
I played that recently too. Yeah.
And I feel like I should mention it. I never liked it, but Diddy Kong Racing. Yeah. I know a lot of people love that game.
Yeah.
So yeah, like that. It had a lot of games that I think a lot of people loved. I think just not a ton of them really landed for me the way they landed for most people.
Well,
like,
and as
there
Jake
was a lot
said,
of games for it that it was like I had excitement for, and then when I played them, they didn't meet the excitement. Castlevania was one of those.
The Excite Bike. The Excite Bike was mediocre on this system. And of course, Jake mentioned the price of carts was expensive.
Yeah.
So this was not a cheap system to own.
A lot of games, I think, at like EB Games and Software, etc., were what, 65, and then if you wanted to get them at like Walmart or Sears or something, they were 70.
So
I was going to say, I think if we're talking like, in today dollars, these were $80 games in today dollars.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. The problem with back then was combination of the cost is absolutely really expensive. You had to get your cartridges through Nintendo, right? But licensed games were always more expensive, even if they're bad, right? So you had like a lot of acclaimed titles that were always $10 to $15 more than the base N64 games that were first party. That kind of screwed a lot of fans of these franchises. Especially when if you own an N64, you're already not going to get a lot of the third party games because they were scared of the system's costs. But the few that did make games for it were charging more, which is annoying. Like I've said before in the podcast, so I'm going to say Canadian dollars. I don't know what it is in American, but for 96, 97, whenever Turok came out, my uncle bought that for his N64, and it was $120 Canadian. So he was really pissed because like several months later, Nintendo had that Player's Choice program, and Turok got into that, and suddenly the game was like $60. It was like half. He was pissed, paying full price for it.
If I remember, my friend bought Turok way back in the day, and it was up there in price, and we were like, "Damn, man, why? Yeah. That's a lot." And I remember that being a big thing that we discussed when we were younger on that.
Well, when Resident Evil 2 hit the N64, it was $70, I think, even at like Best Buy and stuff, where you expect games to be the going rate. And then you could go to the other side of to the next aisle for PlayStation, and there it was for $30-$40.
Sure.
Right.
And it's like,
what are you doing?
Yeah. Now, of course,
what are you doing here, man?
If you have the PlayStation version, it takes 7 times as long to load. But
it just takes longer to get through the doors. It's fine. Slow creep. Slow creep,
But that's why I say, like at the beginning of the episode, is that for any of my friends, and a few of us had the N64, is we really did all have the same 3 games. Everybody had Mario 64. Right. You probably had GoldenEye, or you had a friend that did, and then maybe you had like Mario Kart or something. But we all had the same pool of a handful of games. So like the library of the N64 is I think it's like 330 games roughly, give or take. Obviously, we didn't get all the Japanese ones, but not a large library. But compounding that small library was the cost of the carts. You really only bought the best of the best because that's all you could afford.
Right. Yeah,
and that's disappointing. That's a shame because there's a lot of good games there.
Yeah.
What was the Yoshi game on N64? Yoshi Story? Is that
Yoshi
what it was?
Story? Yeah.
And that was not a good game.
Right.
It was an expensive game. It was adorable as shit, but it was not good. And I mean, that's kind of a trend that's remained throughout all the Yoshi games. I don't know why they keep made. They're not good, but
they're not good.
They're always cute. They're always super simplistic.
I mean, they started with an absolutely horrifying sounding crying Mario.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe it's payback for dropping him into pits in Super Mario World.
Yeah.
That's
hitting him in the head to eat things.
Yeah. I mean,
eat fast.
Dude's got some untapped anger issues.
I have been told by someone that is actually Mario pointing And I'm like,
No.
no,
No.
he's whacking
I don't
him in
point
the
with
head.
my fist.
Yeah.
I don't point with my fist either.
Over there, guys.
Crazy.
Over there.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Crazy. All right.
Okay.
Fantastic. Well, I think this sums up a pretty good chunk of celebrating the N64's birthday. Obviously not today, but within the span of June to September. So, we might as well cover as much ground as we can. But I love to hear everybody's opinions. And we had some obvious gloats that are in there and then a couple hidden gems. I love hearing about Conker. I love that game. Turok, actually, I'm a big fan of Turok growing up. So I know it's not loved by all and it probably didn't age very well. But when you first started that thing up, I was like, I want to know every weapon you can play in that game. So, it's the same thing for any other first person shooter. What's the old weapons code, right? Give me all the nail guns for Quake. I want to blow everything up.
Yep.
So it's good times. Is there anything that anybody wants to add for post show stuff since we're kind of doing the wind down? Jake, you got anything coming up in the future here?
Yeah, actually. So I'm still continuing my ranking of Mario, my exhaustive series. I think we're in episode 6 now. I can't remember. last week I did what was it? Super Mario Land 2.
You did Land 2. Land 2.
Okay. So, Super Mario Land 2. Such a memorable title, guys. I can't tell you how much I remember that game.
And ran immediately for haunted houses.
That's yes. I made the mistake of saying Mario never had any horror elements. Immediately went down and complained about ghost houses like an idiot. But that game, that was last week. I have another one coming out on Sunday where I did Super Mario Land 2. No, Super Mario 2. God, I'm going to stop now. Ranking of Mario. Go check it out on our channel. I got the next few weeks banked, so please enjoy and please like the videos so I know to keep doing them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the videos, subscribe to the PSP channel, of course, but please like anything that you see if you guys are into what we're doing and actually like us doing it stuff. It's weird because you just put us on, you listen to us in the background or whatever you do with it, but having some actual interaction, hit that like button, please. Like and subscribe. Press that bell so you can hear us when we go live. The whole YouTube thing. But honest to God, please hit that up. Also, if you're not following us over on Twitch, we're trying to get those numbers up as well over there. So come over, give us a follow on Twitch and let that happen so we can grow our numbers there. You're going to see us on both ends. Some people like YouTube better. Some people like Twitch better. It's your preference. We don't care. But help us grow. We've been busting our butts and we'd really love to see the fruits of our labor expand, as it were. Werewolf, you got anything you got working on you want to talk about coming up here, sir?
No, we did mention that, somebody had a computer take a dive recently. That was mine. So having our Patreon supporters definitely helped out with that. Very much appreciated.
Absolutely.
And now that I have a working computer again, because I didn't for like 3 weeks, I can finally, hopefully next week, do the freaking Rascal episode.
Yes, that Wheel of Pain,
breath.
the great motivator. I can't wait to see you play that.
Great motivator. Yeah. Beautiful.
And for those who watch and listen but don't necessarily check the Discord a lot, I have started my Sisyphean game, and I am sort of min-maxing it to an absurd degree.
Yeah,
I have 6 characters. They're all at least level 100. A couple of them are 101.
Like you do.
Just finish it. Just finish it so you don't bounce off it again.
I will.
Play it with your food,
Wolf. I'm just like, I know, right? I'm not going to bounce off it. I just like every time I get a character, I'm like, okay, let me get you to 100 real quick. Okay, let me get you to 100 real quick.
3 weeks later.
It only takes getting a character to as much as I can max them out between making them new gear that's like end game content, getting them to a level 100, getting all their skills up as best I can before doing anything else takes about maybe 60 to 90 minutes a character.
How many characters?
The game has 13. I'm at 6. You can get up to 8.
Okay.
Someone's playing with his food. That's fine. He'll eat it when he's ready. He'll eat it when he's hungry, Ma. It's all good. Don't worry about it.
He's got the ice cream and he's making ice cream soup now.
He is making ice cream soup. I need more whipped cream.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
I'm breaking all the chips in my bag of chips so that I have more chips.
There you go. Splitting the chips into chips. That's science right there.
Just spread the guacamole on it and let's go.
Just do it. Just do it. Speaking of spreading the guacamole on it, Sinistar, what do you got going on?
Right now I'm doing nothing creative except for with you guys. So this is my creative outlet, and I love doing it with y'all.
We're not mad at that at all. We love having you. All right. And if you give any kind of crap about what I've been up to, I'm over on Twitch. I'm actually going to be dual streaming onto YouTube tonight. Holy shit. Not just here at Press B to Cancel, but on my own channel, Chardmonk / Twitch TV Chardmonk and YouTube Chardmonk. Holy cow. Whole new audience, whole new same fresh chard smell. Can't wait to see it. We're going to be playing something spooky because that's all we ever do in our lives. But we are going through Silent Hill Origins, and I played a little anomaly capturing called Captured last week. Might do Captured 2. Might play Mole.
The game is
Have
good.
decided. Might play Mouthwashing. Don't know. We'll see what happens here. After this episode's done, you can catch me on that channel as I probably poop myself.
If you're a horror fan, holy crap, try Captured.
Yeah,
That
that's fun to watch.
That was
We might pull up too.
Epically terrifying.
I'm deciding on whether I'm going to continue on 1 because there's still some more difficulties that might bring some more stuff, or we try 2, which is a fresh take. I think that came out in April this year, so it's still pretty new. So we'll see what happens with that. But again, we do have a Patreon, as Wolf mentioned, and every episode we do have certain kind of tiers. And remind me, it's Circus Charles and up. Jake, is that correct?
Yeah, so we thank all of our patrons for supporting us momentarily. You don't have to, but it's awesome if you do. We appreciate all of the folks that do that. But if you do support us at the Circus Charles tier or higher, we do shout your name out at the episode. So it's our 2 great friends there. You want to shout them out?
Yes, I would. I would love to shout out to Cthusiast Jeff and Von Beardley. You guys are beautiful. But all of our Patreon subscribers are absolutely gorgeous. It's not just those 2. They just happen to be on the tier that we talk about them in. But I want to thank everybody who did help us and help solve a problem that we had. Just being there and supporting and helping us march through it. Even just technical support and answering questions was also very, very helpful in that. Both Wolf and I were both going through computer builds. Mine went far smoother than his did, but I still reached out and people were there to assist. So thank you guys, including podcast members. Thank you guys for helping both me and Wolf out with our own upgrades to our homes. So you guys are the family we choose. So you put the fun in funly. I don't know. I had something for that. Anyways, guys, this is Press B to Cancel. Make sure you swing by again next Friday to check us out talking about other stuff. We got a pretty big milestone that's coming around, so keep your ears to the ground for when that happens. You can find us on Discord. Follow us on the Discord. Tell us your favorite N64 games or the ones you hate, or if this console's no good, or if you think I should cut my hair. I'm not going to do it, but I'm going to keep... I just like to hear you talk about it. And again, please like, subscribe, any of our videos, Mario, Backlog Blitz, Wolf's great content about anything that he's talking about on his earlier stuff, Sinistar's Telltale stuff. Just get us a like, give us a subscribe. We love doing it. We want to know that you guys both enjoy doing it, please. So
I want to call out, I think it's next week, 7-year podcast anniversary.
Yep.
yeah,
Next week.
That's a big one. Yeah.
that's the milestone. That is the milestone. So we will be we'll be doing something fun that week. So stick around, come by and check us out. Listen to us. We may even have one of our favorite familiar faces drop back in to talk about it with us. So that should be fun.
Idris
Jake, you have
Elba
something
finally has been booked.
Yes.
But
Yes.
He's bringing a bag of 6% milk. Let's go.
We also got Isaac Asimov will be there as well to talk about
digging him up as we
why
speak.
if robots dream of electric sheep. Should be an enjoyable time. So until then, this has been Press B to Cancel.
The 6% of the crop themselves.